Ronnie Haskins in
I
the
can hear
building.
you now. I figured out how to turn it from earpiece to speaker. So I can hear you fine now.
Oh, praise God. Praise God.
Thank you, Jesus.
All right. Let me make sure we're live here and then we'll get on rolling. I'm so not good with this thing, man.
Really?
Yes, we are live. We are live.
Yes, we are.
You're looking good today, my brother.
So are you, man. Some lady said that you look like Boris Kojo on one of
I
your
saw,
videos.
I saw that.
I was like, wow, man, that's fantastic.
I'm like, can I get some of that Boris Kojo money? That dude is a supermodel, but I thank you. Hey, class. It's Chris Haskins here with the realestateroundup.com, hanging out once again with my brother. How you doing, Ronnie?
What's going on, little brother? I'm doing good. Just trying to follow in your footsteps.
As I am as well. Let me open this up so I can get everybody's questions answered today. This is so cool to be hanging out with my brother. Class, my mission statement to uplift the financial literacy of my fellow mankind through real estate investing and entrepreneurship. Today we've got Ask a Haskins, where we are going to go down the list of entrepreneur questions. My brother had a great topic. Time management is a hottie. Time management is a hottie, Ronnie. Go ahead. Let's get started with time management.
Time management. There's a book out there called The Email,
Yep.
and it talks about working on your business versus working in your business.
Yep.
If you're familiar with that, it's definitely a book I would check out. But you can spend a lot of time chasing shiny objects instead of having a predicted course of action every week. And opportunities without direction are distractions. It's a mantra that I live by. So basically, I don't like to drown in opportunity. I don't like the next best thing. I don't like this or that. And so when I'm building my business, when I think about time management, I think about working on the business for a set amount of hours versus working in the business when you're actually talking to customers, or you're going to look at a house you're going to purchase, or I'm looking at cars to buy, or things of that nature. Am I making any sense, Chris?
Yeah, no, for our viewers that don't understand, or not that they don't understand, that they may not be aware of what is the difference. I love the fence. What's the difference between working on your business and working in it?
Well, the major difference is, let's just, for an example from my world, when you're working in your business, I'm sitting here doing this paperwork right here. I got a bill of sale I got to complete. I've got a transaction I've got to complete. I've got a client I need to interact with, and a deal that has to be wrapped up and put together. That's working in the business. You're working inside the business to complete a sale. In your world, it would be you actually have to visit that house that the squatters were in and be there with the cop when he's evicting the people.
Yeah.
And work versus working on the business. You have a vision of what you want to do this month and what you need to do to execute that vision. And so those topics include, what type of marketing do you need to do today? What type of follow-up phone calls do you need to do? What type of cash flow issues do you have to work on? That's working on your business instead of working in it. Most people get stuck working in it all the time. They can never get outside of it and look at it as a thing, work on it.
Yeah, that is a challenging step to go forward because there is a mantra that exists. I can do it. What is it? I don't. If I want it done, I've got to do it myself.
Stepping over $5 to pick up $1.
You know what's weird? Let me tell you what just happened to you, dog. I had a tenant, Ronnie, that used to curse me out every time I went over there. I cleaned out her sewer line back in January, and it had a bunch of tampons and condoms in it. And I'm just like,
Wow.
hey, Miss X, you know me, I'm real smooth, I'm polite. Miss X, how do you think these got in there? She goes, ask your wife. Ask your wife how they got in there. I'm like, oh shit. Oh shit. Now she had already cursed me out several times before this, and every contractor that I sent over there, right? So I'm like, I am freaking done. I terminated her lease, and she was on Section 8, and she paid no money.
Oh,
Section 8 paid all her rent, right? As
there's
soon
a
as
whole
I
nother
got her,
conversation about that. Yeah,
huh?
there's a whole nother conversation.
As soon as I got her out, I'm just saying I got somebody in that the neighborhood loves. So I was stepping, I'm like you said, stepping over $5 to get 100. I'm like, I needed to let that $5 go in order to make the 100 because you can't hold it all.
You can't keep it all. And when you look at people like billionaires, like Mark Cuban and Damon John and people like that, they always talk about people, process, product, and in that order. In that order, people first, product, and product. And you look at the Army mantra, it was mission first, men always. So the people is the aspect that you actually need to get good at. So I'll give you another example from my business, Chris. So I spent like 4 or 5 years to do it all. I didn't want to spend any money to make money. I thought if I can do all of this work, look at this right here on my desk, man. Look at this stack of deals right here. And so I used to think, I'm going to do this by myself. I'm going to make all the money. I'm going to go to the DMV. I used to go to DMV twice a week and sit in line with a stack of deals like this to process title work. I did that for like 5 years. Now, I learned a lot of lessons. Like I understand it completely, but I'm assistant now that I pay about $1,500 a month to take care of that for me. Yeah. So I'm no longer stepping over $5 to try and pick up $1 because I wasn't valuing my own time. When I talk about understanding your time and why it matters, I try to put a number on it, and my number's like $300 an hour. And so if I'm sitting at the DMV for 2 hours, wow, I just lost $600 trying to save $5.
Yeah.
You understand?
Wow, that is deep. That's deep.
What do you see yourself spending money on where you used to do it yourself? I know you said once about the cutting the grass thing. Do you have another example?
Yeah, we never, ever, ever, ever cut grass, man. I don't do that anymore. We don't wash the car. And you know what? All this stuff that I'm going to tell you, I know people may be like, "Who the hell is why not?" We don't wash clothes. We don't clean the house. The reason why I don't want my clients or I don't do that stuff, the first reason is it teaches me how to hire people. It teaches me how to hire people. And until you know how to hire, you're done. You are freaking done until you know how to hire somebody. Just hire somebody to wash your car.
Right. My car is 3 blocks away getting cleaned right now.
There you go. There you go. It teaches you the skill of being able to delegate. If you can't delegate, man, you're to build wealth, you're either going to be delegating money or delegating people, period. And that's how it works.
I like that. I think you're right, man. I mean, but those are the skill sets people need to work on, is your management skill sets, your people skill sets, because there's all types of personalities you got to work with, and you just can't be like Dad is. Just going to be this way or the highway. What I found out, Chris, is that if you give people an opportunity, they will surprise you. They will basically go out and possibly do the job better than you.
That's right.
Period. And that's what you really want. It doesn't really matter if it's done your way. It matters that the job gets done.
All right, I got a super chat coming in from Marcus Robertson. Marcus, is that you with the Tampa thing, or you got something else? Let's see where he's at. Anyway, Ryan, I wanted to talk about something. Let me get my little thing here. 1 second. Another time management thing is this, Marcus. Let me know, is that you with the Tampa thing or not, and let me know what your question is. We'll get you straight, brother. Guys, if you want us to answer the questions right now, just do the super chat. If not, you can wait till the end of the hour till we do all the other questions. Ronnie, I did a video about a month ago about the 14 deadly time wasters. Tell me about your philosophy, because we have different philosophies on checking email and text. So I know you kind of do. You're on to that all the time. You're like very good with replying. I'm terrible with that stuff because I purposely block it out. But tell me your philosophies and thoughts on checking email and text messages.
I think you know what? I appreciate the way you said that. It's like, it's a different philosophy. You know, in my world, which is customer service, really, I mean, I sell cars, but I'm really servicing clients. I'm catering to clients. So I have to be a rapid responder. I have to make sure that their stuff is taken care of whenever they are interested in getting answers. So
Like what? What are you gonna take care of?
just answering questions, man. Like people. So here's what I don't like to do. I don't like when you have no response, then you leave people to their own devices. In their mind, fear creeps in. Like if I call you and say, Chris, I rented this house from you. I got a water issue. Can you call me back? It's not urgent, but call me back. And then you don't call me back for like 2 days. During that 2 days, I'm thinking negative things. They start to creep in. It's like, Chris doesn't care about me. He's scamming me. Something's going on. If I don't like leaving people to even get to that level. No response, and I see this with salespeople all the time. You need to respond to your people. If you're in my type of an industry or in a sales or service industry, you need to respond. And I used to get answers from salespeople that would tell me, I don't want to call them because I got bad news. I'm like, you need to call them. You need to call them right now and tell them this is not good. And let me tell you what the solution is. You understand? So, I mean, but you said we have different philosophies. I have some friends that they, you know, if I send them an email, it'll send me one back and it'll say, I don't answer emails, but until 1 o'clock, till 4 o'clock. If you need to reach me before that, text me. I may not be able to get back to you today. They're still communicating, but the answers are coming later. And so that puts me at ease. It takes the edge off so that I don't have the fear creeping in. Gotcha. And then I'm going about my business. So, you know, but you're right, man. I mean, quick, rapid responses, I live that way.
Yeah, you do. You're good at that stuff. But, you know, and I'm not saying neither one of these are right or wrong or good or bad.
Correct.
This philosophies, and I hope that this will help some people. I pray.
Yeah, I don't think there's a right or wrong way to it. I think no response is bad. Like, we can both agree to that. If you're not going to respond to people, then why are you in business?
No response is bad.
Yeah.
But I pray that if you're watching it, I'm going to show you some stats before we leave about the loss of time mentally and on the job from people checking the email. And not only checking the email, but they're looking at email to see if they got an email. You're killing me. I'm seeing people like, wait a minute. I'm talking to people like, wait a minute, dude. Okay, what'd you say? I'm like, I mean, everybody's different, right? My thing is, if Greg Peniel calls it the gray area of living, you're always worried about what's going on in your phone and in the virtual world, so to speak. And when I go visit clients, or if I'm looking to buy somebody's house, I don't even take my phone in the house because it's so crazy. Dan Kennedy says the lost art of listening. The lost art. America has lost the art of listening. Spouses don't listen to husbands. Husbands don't listen to wives. Parents don't listen to kids. Kids don't listen to parents. People don't listen to anybody. All they want to do is just dump on you, right? But it's crazy when you just
because they're distracted.
Huh? Yeah, man. Give somebody, when people call me, I'm like, this is Chris. You have my undivided attention. They're like, what? They don't even believe it. But you don't check email. Well, to me, it's like for me, mine is distracting. Like if I check an email, I got to get back to what I was doing. So I just set a time. Like I'm gonna check email between X time, and I never check it before 10 o'clock in the day.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, so I was going to show you this. It's hard for you to see it. I have 9,280 emails in my business email, and I have 9,286 in my personal email. So I don't even worry about if I have an email. I know I got email. What I need to worry about is, I have my clients marked, so I know who I need to respond to. That being said, what you said was super important. The most valuable customer is the one in front of you. Yeah. So if you're on the phone with somebody, practice your listening skills. That email that I got here will wait. If they're sitting here at the desk, which would be right there in those seats, then they have my undivided attention. You're absolutely correct. I don't say, well, wait, let me check this email. I'm like, let's talk about your deal, and we'll go back to my email later. My email is always full. Every year I have to delete like 20,000 because I just go, and I just click the delete button and then go home. And my wife's like, did you do it? I'm like, I did. And it starts over.
Hey, Marcus.
So that's my goal. I wait for it to hit 20,000 and then I delete it.
All right, Ronnie, I got to get to Marcus, man. This guy's
Yeah.
Ronnie, but I want to talk about some specific skills we're doing to get right on that, dog. Marcus, you wanted to know, Jeremy, I'm gonna get to you too, dog. What happens if you're the transactional lender and you close? He wants to know real estate, and you close with the seller, but later the transaction and buyer can't close. Are you stuck with the property? Great question. Ronnie, let me just I gotta answer the guy's question. Marcus, first of all, I want to say thank you for allowing me and my brother to pour into you, brother. And please, guys, make sure you put your city for your questions. Put your name and your city so we can know where you're at and like the content. The good thing about transactional lending, Ronnie, transactional lending is where I lend money to people and they close the deal and then they resell it the same day. You got me? It's kind of like with a car. You will borrow the money from your lender. Literally, it's the same thing. You're buying it from your lender's lending you the money. You're buying it, then you're reselling it, right?
Same thing.
Same thing. So with me, Marcus wants to know, what if I get stuck? And Ronnie, that'd be great. You can answer that too. What if you get stuck with the car? Well, my end, Marcus, the good thing about transactional lending, let me give you an analogy here, brother. I'm going to use this as my bucket, right? This is my bucket. Here's the bank account. Here's the deal here, right? What happens with transactional lending is, say this whole deal, the house is going to cost $150 to the end buyer. The end buyer brings his money, drops it in there before I even lend my $50,000 to finance the first side, Marcus. So I don't care whether the end guy buys it or not. His money's already in escrow at the title company or at the attorney. So I'm good. The deal, the B2C side is already closed before I even lend the money, brother. So in real estate, there is no risk. There is no risk because the B2C side, I even call them up. I'm like, hey, have they funded their deal already? Cool, well, I'll bring my 50. All right, so Marcus, you're good on that, brother. But make sure you use one title company and somebody you trust. All right, Ronnie, go ahead on your side. How does that work on you?
So basically how it would work for me is we go out and buy the car. There's an important lesson here. So we go purchase the car. We can do it with cash, but we also have what's called a floor plan. We use a line of credit to purchase vehicles on. And depending on the time of month, we make a decision on that. But if I purchase a car for $50,000 and I have it sold for 53 or whatever the case may be, and the client, you're saying the client backs out, like they're no longer going to fund this transaction?
Yeah.
Therein lies the magic of any type of business transaction in my mind. What I had to learn, and it took so long to learn this, money is made on the buy, not on the sell. I'm never worried about a client walking away from my transaction because I bought the car properly. I paid the right amount of money for the vehicle. Don't get me wrong, guys. I'm not saying that I'm buying them cheaper than everybody else all over the world. I did my research. It's a mindset. So you don't want to purchase something because you have it sold for 53. You want to pay 50 just because you have it sold for 53. If the market on that car is 48, you understand? You don't want to you start breaking your paradigm.
Okay.
Sometimes you need to walk away from transactions. So to answer your question, Chris, I'd have to liquidate that car, but the risk of losing money is going to be very little.
Because you're already buying it, right? You can sell it to whomever. You can sell it to anybody, basically.
Yeah, you can retail the car, or you can go ahead and take it back to auction or wholesale or whatever the case may be, and still have a limited amount of loss that you're going to incur.
Gotcha.
But yeah, that happens once or twice a year.
Okay, so let's get to some stuff. We got it, man. It's already 1 o'clock. Ronnie, I have a thing with my timer here, brother. This thing. Remember we were talking about Eben Pagan says on ramps. What on ramps are we doing for our time management?
Yeah.
So I have a timer here, man, and he did a thing to where he talks about. Are you familiar with the circadian rhythm of life? How good gracious, the circadian rhythm is just a rhythm of life. Like the night follows day. A frequency goes like this. The heart pumps one time and it rests. Pumps
We
one
all
time
have
and it rests.
rhythm.
Huh?
Yeah.
The rhythm.
Yeah.
The
The rhythm of
rhythm.
life. Yeah.
Rhythm of life. So he made a serious point about putting the maximum into life or into whatever you're doing and then resting. And the analogy he used was a long distance runner and a short distance runner really hit home for me because I was before a long distance runner. You know, I can go all day, go all night, work forever. But
Yeah.
he's like, whenever you look at a long distance runner, they're all skinny and frail, right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
when you look
I
at the short distance guys, these dudes are like
they're buff.
bodybuilders.
Yeah.
So they can put the energy in real quick, right? They get more out of that quick burst. And just follow me here. Even with your heartbeat, the heartbeat, you get that one burst, then it rests, right? Burst, then rest. So the timer lets me get my 45 to 50 minutes burst of energy of whatever focus on what I'm doing, and then I'm taking 10, 15 minutes of a break. It has allowed me to write books, to do the monthly newsletter, buy and sell houses. That thing is one of the strategies that I just recommend for our viewers. Go ahead, Ronnie, what you got?
Wow, Chris, that is powerful. I have never used a timer like that. Most of
Oh
the time
my,
I do it in my head.
you do it in your head. Okay, so you got it in your head. You're like, well, we can only focus on one thing at a time, brother. You can only focus on one thing at a time. As a matter of fact, I'm working on another training about the baseball runners, how the baseball. I went to a Major League Baseball game last week, and the guys running the base, all they can focus on is the next base. They have hired a coach to be on third base, and you know that, Ronnie, to
Yeah.
tell him whether he should run or not. So
Right.
he can't even look at where the baseball is because he can only do one thing.
It's amazing. That's a great analogy, but you're right. Yeah. So,
So it's like,
for me, it's hours in the day. Like I try to get here by 8:30. And like right now today, I keep going back to this, but this is my focus as soon as we hang up.
all right,
And that's just the focus to get through it. And sometimes it's a challenge. It's like I need to get this done and I need to get it done in a timely manner. And so put it in front of me so I can get it done and silence the phone so that I can complete that task, or it ends up costing me money. So I've got to be sure that I'm focusing. But I really like that timer thing, man. I think I might have to start using something like that to challenge myself to focus and use a burst of energy like that.
oh yeah, man, it's a monster, dude. But I like the thing, like I think you're doing that eat that frog thing we talked about last week with Brian Tracy. Do the thing you don't want to do first, and everything else is easy, right?
I eat my vegetables first. I don't know why people don't do that. Why do they, like, my kid will be like, I want to eat the peas. I'm like, why are you eating them last? Just eat them. The fried chicken tastes better. You just eat the peas and you don't have to deal with it. It's the same thing when making cold calls or doing pop buys or going to your customers or handling somebody that's not happy. I mean, those are the things you should hit head on, like just motor right over them. And that way they're done. I like the feeling of it's done. I don't have
Done.
to deal with it anymore. It's not looming over me. Because don't you think you lose a lot of time? Like if you don't handle certain situations, they start weighing on you and it
Oh,
slows the rest of your whole day down.
yeah. It slows you down. Well, you know what helps me a lot too, man? I keep my little board here on the other side of my desk. I've got my board there, so it reminds me every time I look up. Boy, you better be getting on it. You better be getting on it. You know?
I was watching the Emmett Smith thing last night that really lit my fire. Like this dude was telling the story about when Emmett got drafted by the Cowboys and he walked into the locker room the first day. And I saw this for the first time last night before the football game. And Emmett walked in and it was like Nate Newton or one of those guys that played with him. And he said Emmett came in with a piece of paper and set it on the table. And it was like he had not even set foot on the football field. And it was like 4 goals. One was to be NFL leading rusher. The second one was like MVP of his own team. And the
Wow.
third one was like make the Pro Bowl. And the guy was like looking at it. He's like, you haven't even put on a helmet yet. You don't even have your jersey. He's like, I got them written down. And he had goals written down. Oh man, dude, it's like that was inspiring to me. You know, I
Nice.
write goals down, but I think I need to raise my goals because my goals, I've been hitting them. I've been achieving them and I've been
Yeah,
getting complacent,
yeah, it's
you know?
challenging. It's challenging just to, for me, it's like my thing is to get a damn goal, to get a goal.
Really?
Because once you hit 100,000, and that's just so much this is no money, It's like I want to do 100,000, that was so years ago. It's like, but then you have to rate, like you say, you have to raise your bar, man. I think we're our biggest enemies when it comes to that.
Yeah, I've been living in complacency for a while. I like to I'm comfortable. I need to do
Ah,
something that's going to make me uncomfortable. Like, I think we started it like, having like 200,000 subscribers or something like that. Some goal that is just not even attainable at this point, but I can start working on it.
hey, tell me about some of for our viewers, tell us about some of the time management things you use. You got to have some on ramps. I mean, it's only if you don't have, for me, if I don't have things that are pushing me back online, dude, I'm done for the day. I don't get anything done. Viewers,
Well,
please type in what you get. What time management things are you guys using? You've heard Ronnie and my stuff. What time management tools or skills or strategies are you guys using, right, to stay on task, get things done? The
yeah.
circadian rhythm, I love it.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think there's a lot of philosophies behind it. I think that just talking to you, I'm interested in looking at that timer thing. But the on ramp, we've talked about that as far as my workouts.
Yeah,
I got to have all these things set up or I'll fail. You know,
yeah, I hear you.
so I don't know. That's a good one.
All right, let's get to our
What else
questions,
do you?
Ronnie. Huh?
Go ahead.
Let's get to our questions and get you out of here, brother. Tampa, Florida. He got a real estate question. What unique solutions? Can you elaborate on townhouse condos? Yes, I could talk about those all day. I've always been told to avoid these properties. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Unique solutions. I love townhouses and I love condos. However, you have the main thing with condos is the homeowners association if you're going to buy and flip. Okay, let's talk about two different things. Buy and hold townhouse condos, buy and flip townhouse condos, right? So if you're going to buy and hold, you can pay cash, you get your money back, you're good, or you get a loan on it, get your money back over time, no problem. If you are buying and holding, before you buy, you have to verify that the HOA will allow rentals in that area. I almost bought a condo years ago where the HOA denied rentals. They did not allow you to rent the property. They did monthly or quarterly inspections, and if the owner occupant didn't live there, they would evict your tenant. So you got to be vigilant regarding the bylaws. Get a copy of the bylaws before you buy a townhouse or a condo. If you're going to sell it, the major drawback with selling a condo, guys, good God, I got to pray about this one before I talk. Some HOAs and condos or townhouses lose their credibility. They lose their lending credibility. What do I mean by that? Sometimes if an HOA has more than 50% renters, then some lenders, FHA or VA, these type of lenders will not loan to borrowers that want to buy those condos. I have seen time and time again, business associates of mine get slaughtered for buying condos before they checked out whether the HOA was accredited or not. So all you have to do before you buy, just call up, go to Google, say mortgage brokers in your town. Say, hey, listen, is 123 Easy Street HOA accredited for all lenders? And they'll pull it up. They'll say, okay, well, they're good for Veterans Association loans, but they will not loan for FHA. They'll only do conventional or cash. It's still so ironic that some lenders make a distinction whether they will lend in a specific area. So you got to know that before you buy it. But I still love them. I got several townhouses. They cash flow unbelievable. My first house I bought in Hampton was a townhouse. It cash flows. It makes $1,200 a month. Sometimes $1,300 a month.
Hey,
Martin,
Chris, can I add something to that?
yeah, go ahead, Ryan.
I like before I started getting into real estate, right? I developed a I like 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom at least, and then 2-car garage.
Yeah.
And so that's what I own. And I think that, I hear this a lot with my clients. They're sitting with me, they're talking about their, and they're thinking, well, why don't we do 60 or 72-month loan? I'm like, well, you this particular car. Do you have a problem? And, like if you're thinking about, they're asking you a question like, do you like townhomes? They just said it in the question. I've always been told to avoid these properties. So are you looking at the townhome because it's in your budget and want to go against the grain and break your paradigm? You follow me?
Yeah.
Something that you want to find out about and how you can do it. I mean, obviously you can master townhomes. There's lots of things that you can do there.
Yeah.
But there's another thing that stands out to me when you talk about them. And I've heard about this, Chris, and maybe you can elaborate on it. Like roof insurance. Like in Colorado, there's a lot of hail damage. And I've heard people getting into trouble. They, multiple owners of different condos in the same unit, they kind of share a roof.
Yeah.
You got to make sure everybody has their coverage, or because they don't come out and just replace your part of the roof. They come out and do it all, or they don't do anything. So there's a lot of little pitfalls.
Yes, right.
But I think you got to question yourself, right? Are you breaking your paradigm? Everybody's telling you don't do it. Why are you doing it? That's the bigger question to me. It's like, it's fine if Chris has done it because Chris has done it 1,000 times and knows is going to cash flow for him. But if you've never done it and you're just trying to figure out a way to break into it, yeah. I think that you need more research.
That's a good point. You know what? I'm thinking with condos in town, I mean, for me, I love them because the general public has that same
stigma.
Yeah, there you go. They got that same.
So you like to go against the grain.
Well, I love my townhouses. I mean, dude, it pays $15,000 a year, and Section 8 pays it all. I never go over there. I love them.
But did you start that way? Did you start that way?
No way. I was no.
You had the education and the ability and the experience and the know-how to make it happen, right?
Yes.
So if I'm talking to friends in Tampa, I would just answer you like, yeah, I think that's a good idea. Unique solutions. If you've got the skill and the know-how and the people around you to make it work, but if you're just trying to do it for the first time, and people do this to me, Chris, you used to call me and go, Ronnie, so I just go to auction, buy the car, and then I'm good. I can go make $2,000. I'm like, well, maybe, have you looked at the transmission? Yeah. Have you checked under the hood? Have you done this or that? I mean, it's all about your mental knowledge base. Yeah. So yeah, they cash flow for Chris, but doesn't mean it's going to work for you.
That is wow. That is true. It may or may not work for you, yes, but I think the ultimate thing here is to get educated. I gotta tell you, I can't stress that enough. Unique solutions, get educated. If you want to join our inner circle, you can do that. I'll walk you through the thing. I can't stress enough. Just get educated on townhouses and condos. Talk to a local mortgage broker before you do anything. Jamaican Terror, you heard the same thing about townhouses. Yes, they can be rough. Guillermo, what up, my brother? After you open your own company, at which point do you tell yourself that you need to hire someone? You obviously would need to have a large income to compensate for that expense. Ronnie, you want to go with that one and I'll tell my side?
That's a great question. So he's basically asking,
Ronnie?
At what point do you tell yourself? So this is a basically speak from experience deal. Like, let's just talk small numbers. Let's say you're generating $10,000 a month in revenue. And of that, you're making, let's say, let's rewind. Let's say you're making $10,000 a month in profit. And you are using your own manpower to do this. You probably should be paying somebody to do that paperwork. You know what I mean? Like, because your time is better used generating the next step to get you to 15,000 in profit, Guillermo. Yeah. So, but you're going to have to know your own numbers and be able to realize that yourself. And you can tell, like, sweeping and mopping and doing windows and putting gas in cars or painting or things of that nature, you just have to put those numbers into a spreadsheet and take a look at it and see how it's going to work out for you. Now, there's a mistake people make is I used to do it. You know, I would pay somebody to do all this work right here, and then I'll play World of Warcraft or go to Cripple Creek or go to the movies. You know, you gotta that stuff can be a trap too. It can make you very complacent, and you can lose money.
So it has to be
you have to challenge yourself to.
It has to be exponential. You're saying with the time. If they're doing something, you need to be doing something too.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. You can't just do it just because you don't want to do it. You know, I've done that.
Let me tell you.
I hope that answers your questions, Guillermo.
Yeah, well, Guillermo, let me tell you, my brother and I we have two different philosophies. I like the fact that he sells a lot of stuff out, but there is a world that exists in business called the virtual world. I don't know if my brother uses virtual assistants yet or not.
You talking about Fiverr, stuff like that?
So to speak, yes, generally speaking, but I have a virtual assistant that does stuff for me. I pay her, I think, $1.50 an hour. She lives in the Philippines. The minimum wage in the Philippines is 50 cents an hour, Guillermo. So what I want you to, and Guillermo, you're a client. We can talk about this stuff. That every business is global. And you know what's weird? When I heard real estate was going global, I was scared of it. I didn't want to look at it. When I read the book, The 4-Hour Work Week with Timothy Ferriss, I said, you know what, dude? I'm either going to adapt or I'm going to get freaking left behind. So I found out about virtual assistants. They work for me in other countries. They can do anything you need them to do. Guillermo, for you, we're probably going to hire a virtual assistant to scrub all your foreclosures down there for you. Now, they can't go out and visit homes, obviously, but they can do a lot of the minutia that you're doing now, which I don't do, but we work together and put those lists together. I don't do that now because I hire somebody to do it, and it's only $1.50 an hour, Guillermo. So the cost of getting stuff done now is exponentially cheaper than it was 10, 15 years ago. I don't know if you remember back in the late 80s, Ronnie, or maybe the early 90s. Remember when you started to call in phone centers and you started to get people that were talking like this?
Yeah. I remember that. Like, remember we worked at J. Crew?
Yeah,
All American. Remember that?
Over time, well, I didn't, but I remember I worked at another company. But over time, when you start calling like your Sprints or your Verizons or back in the day it was MCI.
That's exactly why I'm with Verizon, because I like talking to. It's a little bit more money.
English person. Yeah, they probably don't outsource. So what happens is back in the early 90s, a lot of companies outsource all their telemarketing stuff to other countries, and you would call somebody and you would hear them talking like this, and it was very
my name is Peggy.
It was very, very hard for you to understand them. But these people can do all the internet research without even talking to anybody, you know? So anything brother, matter of fact, we'll do a training on how to hire a virtual assistant. I pay them $1.50 an hour, and they are happy to
You think I could use a virtual assistant, Chris?
Oh my goodness, Ron. Yeah, we can. I mean, it would take your life. I mean, good God, anything that can be done online. All my VAs, they set up spreadsheets for me. I mean, they're downloading stuff, sending out. I mean, they can even mail stuff. It's amazing. They can pay bills. If you read Timothy Ferriss's 4-Hour Work Week, this guy has 50 virtual assistants that do everything for him.
I'm missing the boat.
Check this out. I try to get my wife, people, what they're doing, Ronnie, they're going to work, getting work, and the VA will do the work for them for $1.50 an hour, and they're gone. You're talking about, it's a paradigm shift, brother, and I don't want to get too deep into it.
Okay.
But yeah, Guillermo, virtual assistants, that's what we'll stop with that, VA. That's what you need to be doing, brother. Marcus, we talked about the seller backing out. We did that one. Unique Solutions. Where you at? Unique Solutions, I forgot. Tampa. I believe I heard you say in another video that conventional financing can't be used for short sales. Is this true? Unique Solutions, can conventional financing be used for short sales? I don't understand that question. I'm a little worried. I'm confused on that one. What do you think, Ronnie? I don't know.
She's asking, can you use a conventional lender to finance a short sale?
Yeah, I thought Ronnie, don't you have experience with that too?
I bought a short sale, but I think it was conventional. I mean,
You used a loan.
let me get back to the question. Unique solution? Yeah, I don't know the answer to that question.
But I'm saying you have bought a house with a conventional loan on the short sale, right?
Yeah.
So yeah,
I think it was, man. I'm not as. I mean, that was in 2008. Like the market was just about at the rock bottom,
yeah.
and it was a bank-owned property. And I'm pretty sure we got a conventional loan, but things were different back then. It was stated income.
Hold on. Okay, so you bought a bank REO. You did not buy a short sale.
No.
A short sale is when the homeowner still owns the house. All right, let's move on. Ruben Contreras, Duncanville, Texas. Oh yeah, thank you for chiming in, Ruben. King David, that's a cool name. Greensboro, North Carolina. I have a list of 8,000. I have a list of 8,000 looking to hire more cold callers. Any suggestion? Ronnie, what do you think about hiring people to do cold calling?
Is that a list of 8,000 people that he needs to call every month? Is that what that is?
Yeah, wow. The King David, if you can elaborate some more, we'd be more than happy to help you with that. I'm not sure.
I've thought about that, like hiring people to cold call. I mean, I think that's all in the training. If you're going to set up the training properly, because I'm not a big fan of having people represent my company that are going to give me a bad name. So basically, the training has to be spot on, and you have to basically inspect what you expect, and you have to measure it every month, or you can get a lot of bad publicity from just random, like the numbers game. Just trying to shoot a shotgun out there is not good.
Yeah, it gets you in trouble. I have to always inspect the virtual assistants, and we do video trainings for all of our virtual assistants. So I already know how to do it, so I do a video of it. As a matter of fact, we do that with clients too. Here's how you do this. We'll just record the video and it's over.
Right. Yeah.
K-Mac 1031. Oh my goodness, he gotta have some money. He got some money. K-Mac, you 1031. I know where you at with that 1031, bro. Peace, Hampton. So is the transactional lender similar to a hard money lender? Yes, similar, but we only want to hold the house for a day. What is the interest rate you use for your money? K-Mac 1031. Now, there is no set when you're doing I'm going to presume you're talking about transactional lending. I just take a piece of the deal. If it's a $20,000 profit, I'll negotiate something for the wholesalers. I don't have a set fee. I'm not like a lender out here lending money at 5 points, 12%. I don't do that. I take a piece. I want to do deals. You know what? I want when people see me, dude, I want them to say, you know what? This guy does deals. He doesn't make deals fall apart. I'm serious, Ronnie. When people show up, they want you to, you see guys showing up like, oh, man.
Oh, really, dude? They get that kind of reputation?
Oh my goodness. Yeah, be like, I know several guys. They say, well, he's in a deal. Well, I know that ain't gonna work.
Really?
Because they're taking all the money.
That's bad.
Yeah, man. I have a philosophy. Fat pigs get sent to the slaughterhouse.
Yeah.
Medium-sized pigs, they keep getting fed. So it's kind of like, man, if you just kind of do the deal, make some money, just make some money, move on, you're good. Marcus Roberts, I'm glad I helped you, brother Marcus. Thank you, brother. You really supporting our channel. Thank you. Get the likes up. That's right. Okay, Chocolate Treasure said her time management thing, Ronnie, she tackles things as they come, but she's very organized. Tell me about organization in your time management, Ronnie. Does that help? Do you like to be a real estate investor? Organization is just paramount. Like I'll show you here. Here's my
like
deal
your desk
quote.
behind you?
Huh? Now there are levels to organization. Yes, there are levels to organization, but everything's in my deal book. So here are all my deal.
Oh, wow.
So we got active deals in the front. These are deals that we want to close, and back here that we're just working on them.
Yeah.
Tell me about how being organized is important for your time management, Ronnie.
It goes right back to opportunities without direction are distraction. And so, I have to be organized because people's lives depend on it. Their financial, um, your paperwork, your documentation, things of that nature. It has to be completely organized and filed and kept for 5 years. So, we're constantly working on our organizational skills. The only thing I don't like about what she said was she has no plan. Like, she says she does absolutely nothing. She takes it as it comes. Where did it go? Oh, tackle things as they come, but she's very organized, or he's very organized. But I think that can drag you down rabbit holes if you're just taking it as it comes. You have to be able to prioritize your day no matter what's coming at you. So that way, when the things, as they always do come at you all day long, you have to be ready to tell yourself, this is not a priority. This is a priority. I will get back to that and be able to organize that, or hire it out, or sub it out, or whatever the case may be.
So do you have a way to say there are two things? It can be urgent and important, or it can be urgent and unimportant. Do you have a way to distinguish the difference within your day?
Yeah, absolutely. There's things that there's things that cost me money that are urgent and they end up rising to the top. But I mean,
the phone ringing is urgent, but if you don't know when it rings, you don't know if it's important or unimportant when it rings. Until you see.
Great you mentioned that, though. Like, when I'm sitting with somebody, go back to what we talked about earlier. Like, the most important client is the one in front of you.
Yeah.
If my phone's ringing, I don't answer it when I'm with a customer.
Yeah,
I just won't. And even if I look at it and know it's important, I'm like, I'm not answering it.
Gotcha. Yeah, like
these
right
people
now.
Are important.
There you go.
Undivided attention.
I think.
I mean, your phone calls. You know me. I'm going to probably answer the call, or if I can't, I'll get back to them in a timely manner. But majority of the day, I'm spending working on calculated organization. So basically, these documents have to be gone because they tie up money. Like, this has to be done because once it's done, the funding will come in. You know what I mean?
Nice.
And so then we go to the next thing, which may not be as important. It's going to generate more income, like marketing. Like, I need to make sure that these people get called today, or these emails get sent today, and they have to be numbered. You have to challenge yourself. 125 contacts a week, whatever number you want to put on it. But doing things as they come will start to take away from other things around you. And so you won't know it for a long time that you haven't gotten to making new contacts, or, it's back to eating those potatoes and eating those peas, Chris. I think people forget about it because they feel like they're busy. They feel like they're getting stuff done, but things are being left behind because they're not tackling them.
You know what? I hear you say that, Ronnie. I don't want to, I gotta bring this up, man. So much to talk about, bro. I was reading one of Earl Nightingale's books this morning, and he says every habit attracts a flock of its relatives. Every habit attracts a flock of its relatives. Are you saying that once you start to do bad time management, it only gets worse?
Yeah, you're absolutely right, man. That's why I keep going back to that term: opportunities without direction are distractions. We love opportunities, but drowning in opportunities is a problem that most people don't understand until they've been drowning in it for 5 or 6 years.
Wow.
You lose so much time. Like, for instance, I get called daily. Hey, would you like these GPS monitors for your cars? Would you like this? We're going to make you money, Ronnie, because we're going to come in and we're going to help you with this, this, and this. And I'm like, wait a minute. That's not, I don't do buy here, pay here. So I have a critical thing in my mind. I'm like, you're trying to change my paradigm? My paradigm is good customer, flip the car, make the money, And so if you're trying to change my paradigm, like, we think if you add this to your business, this will make you even more money. I'm like, wow. Wait, that needs more consideration. I appreciate the information. Let me think about it. Yeah. I don't just act on it because it's changing my direction, the 20-year direction that I've had.
Yes.
I'm not saying I need to be stuck, but I need to look at it to see how far it's pulling me outside of my parallel lines. That's my decision-making process right there. If it's making my job easier, if you're telling me I can use a line of credit that's going to cost me less money, or whatever the case may be, and it stays in those lanes, we can probably talk.
Nice. Yeah, for real estate investors, I love the fence. We're either looking for product houses or we're looking for money. We're either looking for product, which is more houses, or we're looking for money. Every day, that's all we're looking for. So we need to Greg Penny always says, work backwards. What's going to get you to your next house? What's going to get you to your next lender? Somebody's going to lend you some money to buy a house.
Right.
All right.
That's interesting. Do you have people try to pull you out of your paradigm, Chris? Like they're like, well, I mean, what would that look like for you if someone's like trying to get you to drown an opportunity? What does that look like?
Oh my God. Obviously, I told somebody the other day, I could just answer email all day. If I got paid enough to do it, I have enough email that I can answer probably 8 hours a day, every day. So I get people calling me from all over the world. Actually, one guy called me from Bahamas, wants me to invest in some stuff out there. I think it's opportunities regarding out of the area stuff is where I'm leaning towards it. I haven't done it yet, but I think the shiny object for me is like people want to bring me outside of Virginia. So yeah,
You know what is it's lethal though. It is lethal and sometimes fatal to your business. I will give you an example. Like 15 years ago, I was, the market wasn't so good, and I was working hard, but my business was still, I'm 18 years in, so it just wasn't as old and aged and known as it is now. And so I remember having some tough times, and I was like, man, I should probably get something to do part-time. Now, mind you, I haven't had a part-time gig since I started this. And I was thinking about 10 years ago, maybe I should do roofing estimates because I could do that for about 20 hours a week and make $1,200. And at that point, you start looking at that 1,200 like, this is going to change my life. This is going to make my life easier.
Yeah, no.
And I sat down and talked to Tori about it. And she's like, well, how many hours would you have to put into your business to make 1,200? How many deals? And I was like, that's one deal.
Wow.
And she was like, well, why don't we focus on spending more time working on your business, on the business, like we were talking about earlier?
Yeah.
And so I formulated a plan to basically grow the business and work on it and put that extra 20 hours I was going to put into roofing into the business. And it generated 3 to 5 deals a month. Wow. Which was far more than what I would have made talking about roofing. You follow me?
I do. All right, let's get to these questions so I can go make some money today.
It's Friday.
Yeah. Lance Skinner. Yes, Marcus Robinson says, don't be a hog. Very true. New Jersey. How does he get access to bank-owned properties? Lance. I don't know what type of capital you have, but if you have big capital, you can buy tapes. Tapes are going to be probably 100 houses minimum. If you have small money, which is going to be under $1 million, I'm going to say you're going to just get a realtor. They're all the bank properties go back. They have a protocol. They take it back and they list it with a realtor. Or finally, thank God, the lending institutions have finally learned that you can make more money online. Finally, now that they finally know, I don't know where else in the world, like here, Ronnie, the foreclosure auctions still take place. You have to go to the courthouse to bid.
I've seen you do it, yeah.
Every time I'm driving there, I'm like, dude, these guys are losing so much money. They could be selling houses to people in China, But anyway, it's good for me, bad for them. But all REOs, they have a protocol. They foreclose on it. They either list it with one of these slimy robo-bidding auction.com type of people, or they list it with a realtor. So that's how that is. Daniel, hey, I tell you, time is a great thing to have on your side. That's right, Daniel. Thanks for coming in. Good morning. Pew is here from New Zealand again, Ronnie. That's so cool.
Yeah. Good morning, New Zealand.
Lakia,
thanks for joining us today.
Ronnie, what's your email for people that want to have questions about if they want to, why can't they be a car dealer too? I'm just like, if you could at least give them some words of advice.
Yeah, my email is rhaskins, RHASKINS, at myautosearchusa.com. That's rhaskins@myautosearchusa.com.
Chris?
We got to get our card game down, man, so we can put those things up on the screen.
Yeah,
you were supposed to have it done. You're the YouTube master.
Chris buys houses. Why is this?
If you're just getting to know me, I like to give my brother a lot of crap.
R Haskins.
At myautosearchusa.com.
myautosearchusa.com. Why won't this thing?
I'll type it in the chat.
No, it won't allow any .coms, Ronnie. No, you can't put a website in the thing. What are some friendly title company, investor-friendly title companies? I have two that I use. You can call American Escrow and Title. American Escrow and Title, Lakia. Just ask for George Tillerson. Tell him your boy sent you. Tell him your boy sent you. Might give you a discount. Who else do I use? I would use, shoot, that's the only one off the top of my head. King David was at the doctor. Hello, Chris. You're in Richmond. What up, Rod? What's up, my brother? I'm going to guess and say Real Estate Investors Association. Where would you find my local? Just go to. Yeah. You're going to guess and say Real Estate Investors Association, and where would I find his group? Just go to meetup.com, brother. Just go to meetup.com. You can find any of your RIAs there, and just go to Google Richmond Real Estate Investors Association. You can get any of them there. Hey, C Israel, what's up, brother? I remember you. How you doing, bro? Thanks for chiming in. Ronnie, take us out, man. We are almost at 13,000 subscribers. We're praise God, we're getting over 300 new subscribers. My best day was 350 subscribers in a day. So we are trying to get 20,000 subscribers by the end of the month. And my brother and I are talking, we're working on getting our own channel so we can do entrepreneurial stuff, not just real estate. But Ronnie, take us out with the time management tip secret. What is going to be your home run hitter here for the day, my brother?
All right. So I would say that understanding that your time is valuable, understanding that you are valuable, and putting a number on it. Put a number on your time.
Yeah, like
most people don't even think about it. The only time they think about it is when they're asking for a raise. If you have an hourly job, you know what I'm saying? It's like you got an hourly job and you're like, I think I'm worth $1 more.
Oh,
well, no. So if you're an entrepreneur, you're a business person, you're a salesperson, and you're doing something that takes you away from your core money-making activity, then you need to start challenging yourself to put a number on how much that's costing you. Because if you're worth $300 an hour and you're washing a car, how much are you losing that hour because you didn't want to spend $75 to have that car washed?
That's right.
You understand what I'm saying? Take 300 minus the 75, you still were up $225. So basically, put a number on yourself. You are valuable without a doubt. And make sure you're measuring that when you're looking at managing your time.
Wow. Nice, man. Nice. I would like to leave you guys this first thing. There is a world out here that exists where you don't have to do conventional thinking. Get outside of the box of conventional wisdom. That shit, it just didn't work for me. And I'm sure if you're watching this right now, it probably isn't your goal to be in the conventional box.
In the Matrix?
Huh?
In the Matrix?
In the Matrix. The blue. Which one is the red or the blue pill? I don't know. But yeah, put a number on your time, and for me, I gotta have systems in place. Go out there, get you a clock, and keep in mind. I want to leave one last thing with you. Keep in mind, you have to put forth the effort before you get the result. What are you asking for? What are you going to supply to the marketplace? What are you going to give your community? What are you going to give your fellow man in exchange for the money that you want? Every time I sell a $200,000-$300,000 house, I'm exchanging top value for the money because I want my buyer to pay the top value, market value, right? I don't want them to come down and say, you know what, Chris, I know the house is worth 300, but based on this, and this, we got to offer you 270. Whenever we do a house, I have to put my maximum foot forward. I don't cut any corners. We do inspections under the house and the attic. We do all new everything to make sure that the value that we're giving, we're pouring out into the community, into our area, and to the universe is what we want in exchange for the money. What are you giving for exchange for the money? Don't worry about making the money right now. Think about how you can create value, which is so counterintuitive because no one ever talks about how can I get out there and create some value.
No, they want to get instead of give.
How could I go out there and create some value? No one ever says that stuff. So I'm gonna just tell you, go out there and try to create some value. And if you got any questions about business, real estate, or the car, I want my brother. Maybe our viewers can help me. I want my brother to start pouring in some car dealer stuff, man. I want to see what could we. I want to talk about some of the moving parts, what are the obstacles you overcome. Maybe on the next one. All these, I know you got some stories about the obstacles you had to overcome, brother.
Yeah, plenty of them, man. I mean, nobody wants to know about the car business.
All right, last
we can
question.
definitely talk about it. 23 years of car business.
Oh my goodness, we got somebody that's self-employed. Ronnie, when you first were buying cars, and then I'm gone, how did you get the money to buy them?
Well, I had to partner with a company, to do that. Yeah.
So basically,
I mean, I think that nobody gets there alone, and you have to figure out how you're going to do it. I mean, and partnering with somebody, I've got other buddies that do what I do, and they partner with other dealers to use their lines of credit or their capital or whatever to buy cars. But go back to what you just said. They create a value. They don't just go in there and say, "Hey, I need the money. I need the money because I'm going to go. It's easy. I'm going to go buy cars and make money." You spent time doing that, But you make yourself valuable. What are you offering me? If you want to buy cars for me and you want to bring me some customers. Hey, Ronnie, I got a book of business. Wow. I have a plan. I have thought it out. The only thing I'm missing is the capital to fund this.
Nice.
And I will be able to generate X amount of return on it every month.
Great.
You got my attention. I'm listening. What else do we need to talk about? How much money would you like? Instead of like this.
Wow. I like that. I love it, man.
I like to focus on the value that you're going to provide. Then the money will come. The money will come.
It's so true, dude. It's more money. And now I know it may seem taboo to some people, but Ronnie, would you agree that it's more money out there than it is with people with a savvy plan to borrow it?
I have more availability to lines of credit and money than I've ever had in my life, and I don't even need it. It's like I'm like they call me all the time. They're like, "Would you like more of a line of credit?" I'm like, "Man, what is going on?" I mean, it's like, but that's a whole nother video about leveraging and not basically getting yourself in over your head. But I mean, man. I mean, just provide the value and the money will come.
Gotcha. All right. I'm gone. Love you, my brother.
Love you too, man. Hey, thanks for joining us, folks. Good questions.
Thanks for joining us.
See y'all next week.